Why didn't Nikolai Mew's self-defense strategy work? Well, let's try to talk about it. In the video that I did yesterday, it's pretty tough to capture all of the details in a 3-minute TikTok. So if you really want a good comprehensive overview of the whole event, check out this documentary on YouTube. It's about 40 minutes long. You can hit pause to see the title of it and search it out on YouTube, but definitely gives a pretty effective overview of the whole event. So let's start with what I call the Lion's Den. At some point during that day in July of 2022, Nikolai ends up floating near the Lion's Den. And that Lion's Den consists of a group of 17 to 24-year-old kids. Quick side note, I call them kids because anybody under 50, I refer to as a kid. So fucking deal with it. So now as Nikolai is near the Lion's Den, this group of 17 to 24-year-olds start hurling verbal insults at him. They're calling him a pedophile. They're saying that he's down here for young girls. Obviously stuff that you don't want to hear, ever. Here's your first off-ramp. Nikolai had the opportunity to leave at that point. And again, when I say leave, you don't turn your back on somebody who you feel might be a potential aggressor. You're looking over your shoulder as you're walking away. And that's it. You're just walking away. And I get it. It's not easy to walk away from somebody yelling that kind of shit to you. I get it. But sometimes you got to swallow your pride and you got to swallow your ego and walk away from that. So Nikolai didn't take that off ramp. What did he do? He got in the middle of that Lion's Den. So now what's the plan? Once you get into the Lion's Den, what's your plan? Are you just going to have a conversation with him like, please don't call me those words. Please don't say that to me. That's not nice. You know that ain't going to fly. And now let's just talk about the battlefield here that they're all standing in. They're in the middle of a river with water about, 8 to 10 inches up their ankles on rocks that are slippery, and they're all wearing flip-flops. Nikolai's got flip-flops on his feet. You think he's going to be able to fight effectively like that? I don't think so. So now it's just a testosterone fest. You just got all these alpha males beating their chest, trying to show each other who's the bigger dude. It's a complete shit show. But at one point, there's a break in the circle. And you can see women are pointing. They have an opening and they're pointing and they're saying, get out, just leave, just get out. It's another off-ramp that Nikolai chose not to take. Now at this point, unbeknownst to anybody else, is that Nikolai actually has the blade in his hand at that point. And it's around this time that it's alleged that he makes contact with one of the women that was in that group of 17 to 24-year-olds, either punched her or pushed her or something to that effect. And that's what resulted in him getting smacked. That's when you see him going into the water. And then you see a couple other guys follow up with another smack to him. And you can hear him saying, are you kidding me? You just hit a woman? So once Nikolai gets up out of the river, we already know what happens. He strikes 5 of those people. One of them's no longer with us. Another one is disemboweled, laying in the river. And then Nikolai gets in his tube and floats away. Remember this moment. We're going to come back to this. So now remember, Nikolai is just floating down the river now. And while he's floating down the river, he takes that blade and he tosses it up onto the riverbank. Remember this also, because we're going to come back to this too. Now they get to the spot on the river where everybody exits the river with their tubes. Law enforcement's already there. They have a picture of Nikolai. They're able to pick him out of the crowd, put him in the back of a squad car, and they start asking him questions. And they say something to the effect of, do you know why we're talking to you? And he says, well, I heard there was somebody that got stabbed on the river. Remember that. We're going to come back to that. Now they have Nikolai at the police station. They're interrogating him. They're asking him questions as to what happened. They know that there was a knife fight. They know that he was involved in some way, shape, or form. But Nikolai lies about where he got the knife from. He said that 2 of the kids had a knife. He was able to get the knife away from one of them, and he accidentally stabbed one of the other people there. That's a problem. Let's go through our circle backs here. So remember, near and in the Lion's Den, Nikolai had 2 off-ramps to take advantage of. He did not. Those are 2 strikes against your self-defense claim because you were given the opportunity to leave. You had an escape route. You didn't take advantage of it. Don't hate the player, hate the game, folks. I don't make the rules. It's just the way it is. Remember, just a little bit ago, I said that we were going to come back to when Nikolai got in the tube and started floating down the river. If this was a true self-defense claim, if Nikolai truly wanted to claim self-defense, what he should have done was, after the attack, create some distance, get to a safe spot, get away from that angry mob, find somebody with a cell phone and dial 911. Once you get the 911 operator on the phone, you say, I was just in a fight with a mob of people. I was in fear for my life and I had to defend myself. Please send an ambulance. He didn't do that. That's another strike against his self-defense argument. Our other circle back was in regards to when Nikolai was floating down the river and he tossed the blade up onto the riverbank. That's another strike against your self-defense argument. If it's truly self-defense, what do you have to hide? Why are you throwing the blade away? Now let's go to when he's in the back of the squad car and the officers are asking him if he knows anything about what happened. And he says, I heard somebody got stabbed. No, if it is truly self-defense, that's an opportunity for Nikolai to say, it was me. I was in the middle of an angry mob. They were attacking me. I was in fear for my life, and I had to defend myself. He didn't do that. He lied. Another strike against your self-defense claim. We're almost there. Bear with me. The next strike comes when Nikolai's in the interrogation room. He lied about how he got the knife. If it is self-defense, why are you lying about how you got the knife? That was pretty much the final nail in the coffin. And again, when we go back to interacting with law enforcement, if we go back to the point when he was in the back of the squad car, the proper phrase that he should have used would have been something to the effect of, I was just in the middle of a fight with an angry mob. I was in fear for my life and I had to defend myself. And now I'd like to talk to a lawyer. Conversations end, and absolutely when he was being interrogated, nope, I want a lawyer present. And to wrap this up, no matter how you slice it, it's a tragedy all the way around. I think that at Nikolai's core, at the core of Nikolai's soul, he's a good man. Unfortunately, he got caught up in a series of bad decisions, of bad choices that are going to cost him 20 years of his life. I listened to him make his speech at the end of the trial where he was addressing the court. I felt bad for the guy. He knows he fucked up. It's sad. It's tragic. And that's all I got on that. Don't forget to like, share, follow, comment, and keep those comments coming. Love it. Have an awesome day.